come up with. I love this, and I love this the spirit that if Nnamdi Kanu is not being released before in the next 2 to 3 weeks, before December 2nd, that there will be no flowing of the oil in Niger Delta. Yes, I love that statement, and I love, and I believe that it's not just going to be a statement or just a word, but it's going to be an action. With I remember my humble self, Evangelist Benjamin Johnson, S.S. Nachi, the only Biafran evangelist who speaks the truth and nothing but the truth. And I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the elder statement from the Niger Delta, the truthful and the sincere one that is ready and willing, who have understand what is already on the ground, who have that spirit of oneness of his brotherness and blood flowing in him. Not like the other elder statesman that call himself David Clark, who is supporting the Nigerian terrorists, that they went outside to CNN and began to jam talk. You that in your state that the Fulanis are owning oil well, but you never own any mining of gold in the northern part of Nigeria. I welcome you, brother elder statesman Aigbe, for what you have come up with. I love this, and I love this the spirit that if Nnamdi Kanu is not being released before in the next 2 to 3 weeks, before December 2nd, that there will be no flowing of the oil in Niger Delta. Yes, I love that statement, and I love, and I believe that it's not just going to be a statement or just a word, but it's going to be an action, with an action. I believe, and I love this, and I love this, and I love it so much if it is going to carry out with an action, because I believe in action, and I trust in action, because action speaks louder than voice. They cannot kidnap your brother and put him in prison, and at the same time, what they are using to brag will be coming from your region, and you will not be a beneficiary of it. And the same your brother will be the one suffering, and they will be using what is from your land to punish your brother. I want to ask a question. How many Eastern leaders, elders, including the one, Elder Clark, how many of you, including you, sir, daddy, which of you own any gold depot or any gold land in the West here? You do not have, but they all have one oil well or the other, soaking the oil in our father's land. And some people, some set of people are coming to support them like Edwin Clark. I love what you are doing. May God be with you. May God protect you. May God lead you. And the spirit of the air, the universe will back you up. I love that, and I am happy for you coming out this way, for the way you reason now that yes, that you are origin son of the soil from Niger Delta, that you, yes, being a Biafra land, because we all are Biafrans and we are brothers. They have been using propaganda of the political statement to cause segregation and separation between you and I. But today, I am happy that you are coming back to understand the point that I am trying to make. Having Biafra doesn't mean that that Igbos no. It will be an opportunity for you to hazena here in your land. To originally and well organize and manage what is in your territory, in your father's land, so that you will enjoy the benefit, the importance of God's blessings in your homeland. Yes, that is why we are agitating for Biafra. And I love that. As you can see, the current government of this country does not have anything in future. They don't have future. They don't have hope. Yeah, the current government doesn't have hope, and it doesn't have future. For it does not have plan, because it lacks vision. You understand? So everything has crumbled. It is the high time we stand up, and I want you with this the movement, this step that you are taking, please do not just end it only within your own region. I want you to extend it beyond your own territory. All the deltas down to River State, down to other parts of the east, even to Onitsha too, to other parts, Oweraba, collide. It is not going to be one man force. Let there be collective force, because it must stand. No going back. Biafra is our last hope. God bless you.
But do you not think that do you think that if they can take out this action, do you think that they can just put into action what you say, and at the same time, do you not think this is just a metric as usual?
For now, he has said it, and that is why if you watch my statement before, I said if he can tell that me, I believe in action than statement. Are you getting it? So, and I don't know his capacity and his ability or his strength, but I believe, being a man of a good reputation, a man of an honor, a man of integrity, a man of principle, so he should be able to work by what he has said, not with action, not just by political statement, but with with the action statement. You understand? And that is why I say it shouldn't just end like that. It should extend it. Let there be collective, both in Owerri, Imo State, extend it as well down to Abia State, extend it as well the whole Delta and the River State, because I can even discover, to the glory of God, because they have started playing politics in the River State with the Fugbara. Now that the allocation has been denied him, they have denied the Fugbara his conjunctive right as a state governor. And I love the step that man took as a governor, because all those things were under his own territory. And he took the step and locked up both NNPC, all the oil department in the River State. And I want him, I'm using this opportunity as well. Please, as you are doing this, do not play politics. Do not negotiate with Nigerian government. Governor Fugbara, I am behind you. I love what you are doing, the step you are taking. Please, do not negotiate with Nigeria. Do not go to Nigeria. Let them be the one to look for you. Yes, let them be the one to look for you. Don't look for them. But how much allocation do they think they can give to you? Do you know, as you lock it in a day, do you know how much Nigeria stand to lose?
But do you think this is a solution?
Yes, that is the best solution. Wonderful solution. Why did I say so? How can you, a whole River State, how can you deny them the allocation? Do you know how much Nigerian government are generating from River State? Do you know how much River State is giving to this country? And they are using it to buy their private jet, 160 billion. They are using it to buy 50, 60, 120 million worth of jeep. They are using it to buy so luxurious and equip themselves. The thing that is coming from the River State, and you don't want to give them the allocation. Governor Fugbara, listen and listen good. Seize more and do not pay attention to Nigeria government. Back them, let them look for you. I want you to let them know that you know what you are doing, so that you can have your respect and honor.
But do you not think this will backfire?
Backfire, it will backfire against Nigeria, not against Fugbara. It will backfire, and that is why Fugbara, please do not just stand and don't trust Nigerian security men. Fortify yourself with a man, if possible, unknown faces, unknown men, because in Nigeria you can see the highest training camp in Niger State have been occupied by Nigerian terrorists. Nigerian military has been chased away. They have pursued them. So fortify yourself with the invisible men, so that Nigeria with their what is it called, military uniform, khaki uniform, they will not come and threaten you, so that you can fortify yourself and defend your rights. It is your civil right. It is your father's land. It is your papa oil. Now your papa land, now your oil, now you get them.
But when I mean backfire, I mean, do you not think this will now give Tinubu and Wike the leverage to finally hoist him as the governor
How many
Port
years
Harcourt,
did
of
Wike
Rivers
have?
State.
Listen and listen good. When the former Minister of Transportation, Amechi, brought Wike into power, did he disturb Wike? Let Wike go and manage the FCT. He's the minister of the FCT. Let him face the FCT and leave Rivers State alone. Fubara is the man in charge now, and I am fully in support of him. Wike should go and sleep. He should remove his eyes. Listen and listen good. Jagaba now only for West, Lagos State here. No Jagaba. Rivers State no be Lagos. There you go, they claim Jagaba. Baba will be East. We no be Lagos. We can go and sleep. Leave a River State alone.
And say that, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good development. If you ask me, the recognition has been backed up with documents. There are sensitive documents backing the recognition. You cannot just come recognize Biafra at G7 without putting it in documents. So it has been documented, and that is a celebration of victory, a celebration of emancipation, at least realization of Biafran sovereignty. It's a development that I believe placating every Igbo man, both within and without Nigeria. The Igbos in diaspora, they are over placated this time around because of the G7 giving their recognition and support to Biafra emancipation. We love that, and I can see Simon Ekpa coming out, you know, with songs of victory. It's a song of victory that we are celebrating, and we are going to celebrate. But we are celebrating it in advance, advancement this time, in advance. But we are going to celebrate it a day that is coming. The whole Igbo man will stand up, celebrating, dancing, whining, eating, because of emancipation of Prince of Africa. The Prince of Africa is no other person. It's not Chile. It's not Togo. It's not Cameroon. It's not Nigeria. And they can never be Kanu. The Prince of Africa we are talking about is Biafra, the first Jewish black state, recognized by G7, and it must come to pass. Recognition is not by verbal words. We've seen Biafra, which agitation, you know, has spread all over Europe, the whole Western Europe, the whole United States, Northern America, Canada, and USA, down to mid-America, I mean Central America, down to Southern America. They have recognized Biafra, especially in Haiti, in Jamaica, where you have largely Igbo tribe there. So they are coming out with their support. Though they supported us during the war, but the kind of support we needed now is more than the support they gave us during the war. Nigeria, Biafra, they are not fighting any war. So it's going to be a roundtable talk, and with many nations supporting Biafra. I think it is a welcome victory. We are all about to celebrate emancipation of the Prince of Africa.
But we've seen Ekpa recently come and say that the Nigerians now, the Nigerian government, that, you know, since they know that December 2 is coming, that they've been trying their possible best through the media to tarnish himself and tarnish the image of Biafrans, of the Biafran, you know, restoration. What can you say as regards? They are very uncomfortable.
No. Biafra image of Nigeria. Nigeria has bad international image, which has been, you know, rubbish within African continent, rubbish in American continent. Image of Nigeria is rubbish in Asia. A Nigerian country that is running an illegitimate government, a government of Tinubu. Tinubu himself, haven't you seen how far he has gone on forgery, certificate forgery? So it is Nigerian image that has been rubbish. Nobody knows Biafra yet. They know Biafra as a very, very small boy still in the cradle, a baby in the cradle, about to start standing up. From standing up, Biafra will be walking. So I don't know. Our image has not been rubbish, and nobody could do that. Samoyapa, you see, is busy doing his agitation business in Finland, in America, all over Europe. I don't know what I understand. So his image, whoever tried to tarnish it, is not going to succeed, because So far, he's doing well in Europe, that's outside Nigeria. He's been recognized by the people in Europe, Americans, Asians, Antarctica, Oceania, and Australia. So nothing like rubbishing his image. Simon Ekpa is doing well. If they're rubbishing his image in Nigeria, the West will not take it because already Nigeria is rubbished. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. All is rubbish. Biafra is still in a cradle. Nobody can ever succeed on rubbishing the image of Biafra. Then again, Simon Ekpa is serious doing the work he's doing successfully, which is his own what? Job now. He's entitled to the job he's doing, a job that is giving him joy. If not for Simon Ekpa, we wouldn't have gone far in the House of Congress, American lawmaking body. Simon Ekpa has done well in Canada, has done well with NATO, which is why the G7 has come out to support Biafra. So I think it's all-round success. Nothing like rubbishing image of Ekpa. No, it is not.
Good evening, esteemed Biafrans, and welcome to another important edition of Biafra Express News. We commence our broadcast with groundbreaking news from the Biafra Republic government in exile. The Minister of Finance, Ogechukwu Nkere, recently engaged in vital discussions with Congressman John Carter from Texas, focusing on the ongoing initiatives of the Biafra Republic government in exile, BRGIE, and the pressing issues affecting the Biafran American community. Minister Nkere stated, "I provided a briefing on Nigeria's terrorism epidemic and the systemic killing of Biafrans and Christians." This statement underscores the grave reality that our people face daily and highlights the urgent need for international support. The minister's remarks reflect our ongoing struggle against the oppressive policies of the Nigerian government, which has consistently failed to protect its citizens, particularly those from marginalized communities. In addition, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa emphasized the paramount importance of these high-level meetings, asserting, "The importance of these discussions cannot be overstated as we seek international support against the oppressive policies of the Nigerian government." His statement reinforces our commitment to rallying international backing for the Biafran cause, showcasing our resilience and determination in the face of adversity. Public sentiment and government response. The sentiment among the Biafran populace is unmistakably clear. There is widespread dissatisfaction with the Nigerian government's inability to address the pressing needs of its citizens. Prime Minister Ekpa articulated this sentiment, stating, "Many in the southeast believe the national government has failed to address their needs." His remarks encapsulate the frustrations felt by many Biafrans who have long been ignored by the Nigerian authorities. The Nigerian government's refusal to acknowledge the self-referendum further emphasizes our right to seek independence and self-governance. As we move forward in our mission, it is imperative that we continue to highlight these failures to the international community.
D. International Relations and Advocacy. In the realm of international relations, Prime Minister Ekpa has announced successful meetings with prominent members of the US Congress aimed at advocating for Biafran interests. He expressed gratitude for the efforts of Biafran lobbyists, saying, "We thank Biafra Republic government in exile lobbyists for making our voices heard at the highest levels." These discussions are crucial in raising awareness about the plight of Biafrans and the necessity for international support in our quest for self-determination. The Prime Minister's statements reflect a strategic approach to garnering global attention and support for our cause. He continued, "Our advocacy is vital in ensuring that the world understands the injustices faced by Biafrans, and we will continue to fight for recognition and support." This commitment to advocacy underscores the importance of building international coalitions to support our independence movement. Economic initiatives. In positive economic news, the Biafra Republic government in exile has officially launched Biafra Coin, a cryptocurrency designed to facilitate trade and commerce within our territories. This initiative represents a significant step towards economic independence and self-sufficiency. The Biafra Coin Department announced, Biafrans can now use Biafra Coin to purchase goods and services. This development not only promotes local commerce, but also empowers our people to engage in economic activities without relying on the volatile Nigerian economy. Prime Minister Ekpa remarked, this move toward establishing our own economic framework is crucial as we strive for independence. It allows us to build a robust Biafran economy that is insulated from the failures of the Nigerian state. This initiative is a testament to our resilience and innovative spirit in the face of adversity.
Biafra government in exile strengthens international relations amid historic developments. Pivotal announcement issued by the Biafra Coin Department, the Biafra Republic government in exile is encouraging residents of Alaudo State to participate in the emerging cryptocurrency market by purchasing number Biafra Coin. For those interested in setting up their wallets, assistance is readily available via Telegram by contacting at Ohamzichima. The Biafra Republic government in exile also urges individuals outside of Alaudo to disseminate this information to their contacts within the region. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa of the Biafra Republic government in exile has been actively engaging key U.S. lawmakers to bolster international support for the Biafran cause. In a recent post on his official X account, Ekpa expressed optimism following significant discussions held by Ogachukwu Nkere, the Minister of Finance for the Biafra Republic government in exile, with several influential politicians, including Congressman Gus Bilirakis, R. Florida, and Congressman Jeff Van Drew, R. New Jersey. During these discussions, Minister Nkere emphasized critical developments affecting Biafra and the Biafran American community. Prime Minister Ekpa highlighted Congressman Bilirakis' sympathetic stance on the Biafran plight, stating, "The congressman sympathizes with our plight and is highly supportive." This sentiment was echoed in Nkere's meeting with Congressman Van Drew, who expressed his commitment to being a steadfast ally for the Biafran American community. Perhaps the most groundbreaking event took place when Minister Nkere met with Congressman Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. This meeting marks an unprecedented moment for the Biafran cause, as Speaker Johnson holds one of the most powerful positions in U.S. politics, being second in the presidential line of succession. During their discussion, Minister Nkere addressed critical issues such as Nigeria terrorism against Biafrans and the pressing need for a self-referendum. Speaker Johnson's interest in the Biafran cause was met with enthusiasm, and he presented Minister Nkere with a commemorative gift featuring the official insignia of the Speaker's office, a gesture that underscores the significance of this engagement. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa remarked, "This is truly historic, as never before has the Biafran issue been presented at such a high level." In a poignant reflection on the political landscape, Prime Minister Ekpa contrasted the Biafra Republic government in exile's 2 years of focused efforts towards Biafran liberation with the 13 years of political turmoil faced by the region. He stated, 13 years of political thuggery versus 2 years of Biafra liberation under the Biafra government. Both pictures were taken the same day, same year. His comments serve as a reminder of the progress made under the Biafra Republic government in exile compared to previous efforts. As the Biafra Republic government in exile continues to make strides, Prime Minister Ekpa addressed the public with a resolute call to action. "Let our voices be heard, and let the world know that Biafra is rising again. We stand united in our quest for freedom, And with every meeting, we solidify our path towards sovereignty, he declared. For ongoing updates and support for the Biafra Republic government in exile, stay tuned to Biafra Express, your trusted channel for credible news and advocacy for the Biafran cause.
Welcome back to Biafra Express, where we bring you the latest developments from the Biafran Republic government in exile and the broader Biafran community. I'm Evelyn Okafor, and thank you for joining us again. We appreciate your patience as we continue to deliver news that matters to you. Today, we begin in Moriki, a town in the Zurmi local government area of Zamfara State, Nigeria, where residents are gripped with fear following the expiration of a controversial protection levy imposed by notorious terrorist Bello Turji. Reports indicate that Turji demanded a staggering 30 million naira from the community as a fee for protection against attacks from his group. In response to this alarming situation, Dr. Akparawa Sunny, the Minister of Information, Media and Communications for the Biafra Republic government in exile, emphasized the critical role of the Biafra government in providing safety and security for its citizens. He stated, "This is the importance of the Biafra Republic government in exile and the de facto government in Biafra land," highlighting the measures taken to ensure that Biafra land remains free from the clutches of terrorism that plague Nigeria. In related news, the defense headquarters of the Biafra Liberation Forces recently celebrated a significant victory against the Nigerian military. According to their official statement, the barbarians are receiving it very hot. Their armored tank was shattered by RPG. This victory reinforces the resolve of the Biafran Defence Forces to resist oppression and protect their homeland.